Wednesday possible. I've got very long certificates for you. If you have a mobile phone, can I please ask you to turn it off? And if you do have small children with you, could I please ask you to keep them under control if possible? Thank you very much. There is no fire drill planned for today, but should the fire alarm go off, we need to leave in an orderly manner through this door and down the stairs. Basically, just follow me because I'll be running. So you just follow behind me. Okay? My name is Rita Young and I am the Assistant Superintendent Registrar for the London Borough of Greenwich, and I'll be leading this ceremony for you today. On behalf of the Government of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and Greenwich Council, I would like to welcome you all here today for this citizenship ceremony. This, for many of you, is the final step in the process of becoming a British citizen, which will formally welcome you to this nation and into our community. The citizenship ceremony is a rite of passage that formally welcomes those who wish to join us into full membership of the British family and into citizens of the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is a state built on a union of nations, beliefs and common civic values. We are here today to extend this welcome to you and to confer the honour of citizenship upon you. In particular today, I have great pleasure in welcoming Councillor Alan McCarthy, and I would like to invite him to step forward to speak on behalf of the local community.
Good afternoon. I'm sure you've been warmly welcomed already, but on behalf of the Mayor, who is very sorry he can't be here today, I'm very pleased to be able to represent him. May I also welcome you to Greenwich and to this occasion. I was the Mayor a couple of years ago, and I have no worry in telling you whatsoever that citizenship ceremonies were probably the most favourite of the engagements I had. And there's a reason for that, because I see them as being like a marriage. Now, this lady is qualified to marry you, if you're not already married, but you have come to the right occasion. This is the citizenship. And the reason I like to think of them as being like marriage is severalfold. First of all, you want to do it. It's important to you. And you've come a very long way, obviously literally from where you were born, but also in the journey you've made to get to today, to be here. And that's something of importance as well. But also, there are two further elements. One, it's a formal legal ceremony with lots of legal aspects relating to it, to which I'll return in a second. And the other is that once you've gone through all of that bit, it's a celebration. And what I like is sharing celebrations. So when I'm sitting up here, I do hope that everybody I've talked to today will feel very happy and smile, because I like people to smile on these occasions. But just go back to that bit about the legal bit. Now, if you think about it, presently, as you probably know or have seen in the programme, you're going to do two things. One is those of you who will be swearing an oath, but the others who will be affirming, will do so with a loyalty to the Queen and so on. The other is that you give a pledge of citizenship. Those are the two final elements that get you into British citizenship. And what I'm going to ask you to do is not just say those when you're asked to repeat those words, but to reflect on them and to take into account what you're saying in those words, because that's really very important. And to give you as a for instance, I take it that when you say to you today is thank you for coming to Greenwich. Because I know a number of you may well have come from other places to be here, and you have chosen, and I would say this, wouldn't I, a really lovely place. It's a place that is going to have one of its most exciting years, and you're kicking it off. If you think about it, you're the first of these we've had this year, and after all, why can't this be the start of a really important year in Greenwich for yourselves? Because in a month's time, or just less now, we become a royal borough. Now, that will be one of those for a very long time, and there are only 4 when we get there. We'll be the 4th. So that's a big important occasion for us. And of course, as you know, we are hosting the Olympic and Paralympic Games, a number of them here. And that's given me another reflection on these occasions and on Greenwich. Because one of the things I love about Greenwich is its diversity. And I believe with a passion that diversity is something that we can celebrate as well, but also enriches us all. And as a borough, we are very diverse. And I think that makes us welcoming and the contributions from all of our citizens helpful to each other. And I think that's lovely. And when I reflect on the Olympic Games, for example, you have to bear in mind that London itself is massively diverse. I can't remember the statistic I read somewhere, but there are a large number of countries that will be coming to Britain, to London later this year to compete, where they could have, I think it's 10,000 at least, of their home country supporters, just from the London population. And London, let us not forget, was built by people from other countries. There might have been a little settlement here before the Romans, but it was the Romans who came from Italy that made it, and the French who came from Normandy later who continued it, and so on throughout our history. We are enriched, in my passionate belief, by the people who come from other countries to this country, as did my grandparents, for example. Now, that's all very solemn. I'm going to say one little thing, a couple of little things to be less solemn so that we get into the spirit of celebration. First of all, up there is Queen Elizabeth I, up there is King Henry VIII, and up there is the coat of arms, which is going to have changed perhaps, but I don't want to afford it, so we've had that for a long time yet. And the reason those 2 are up there is because they were born in Greenwich. So was I. So when you talk about a diverse borough, as I said, you are all people, ladies and gentlemen, from a long way from home from where you were born, and my birth was registered downstairs. How about that for a bit of diversity?
Sounds right.
And I think that's very nice. And the next thing, and the last thing I'm going to say to you, is I'm going to read you a bit of a poem. I like this poem. I've been reading this poem, it's very dog-eared, I keep photocopying it because it's getting worn out. And it comes from a book called I'm Here. And I'll tell you a little bit more in a presently. I'll just give you these as the final words. We are here. Families from lands both near and far, from Europe to Asia, Africa, the Caribbean, all the way to the USA. Cultures and food so different. We are here, playing in Greenwich Park, drifting by the River Thames, boarding the Cutty Sark, striding along to the O2 Dome. We are here, in Greenwich, our special home. That, ladies and gentlemen, comes from the book, as I said,